and it was to see Rocky Horror Picture Show. I was like, really? Like,
that's some pretty good life lore.
Yeah, and I was like, so like, was he really weird? And she's like, yeah, he was really weird, but I married him and we're still married.
That's adorable.
It was so cute. Oh, that's kind of hot.
Considering you just made it,
Liquid, not sexy hot, since no one can actually see what we're doing right now. Those weren't porn noises.
Yes, Daniel took a big gulp of coffee and said, "Wow, that's really hot."
Thank God ours is kind of a visual medium.
Sort of.
There we go. I think John's gonna watch the length of Midnight Mass that we watched, so he can finish the rest of it with us. Because he's been going back after we've watched an episode and watching it again. So let me get on Blue Sky. Hashtag Star Wars. Hashtag Gen V. Hashtag. That's more or less it.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/Jedi Enclave. Oh, gotta put the L in there.
That helps.
There's that. Are you ready to go? Shall we get this kicked off? It's just after 7:30.
Let's get this train wreck off the rails.
I resent that. Welcome back to Jedi Enclave. I am Daniel.
I'm Chris.
And this is the award-winning Jedi Enclave Presents. Now, this is Podcasting Podcast, the world-famous podcast about Star Wars and Star Wars accessories. What
awards have we won?
We haven't. It was a total lie. It was a lie. I duped all of you. We have no awards. But it sounds nice, right? I mean,
I guess.
The award-winning Jedi Enclave Presents, and now this is Podcasting Podcast. If you're out there and
no one would have questioned it if I hadn't said it.
I know. Fuck you, by the way. If you're out there and you hand out awards for a podcast, let us have one. So that statement is actually true. It's our weekly podcast about Star Wars accessories, and other things. Today we're talking about Star Wars news. Gen V season finale wrapped up, which when we get to it, we'll do a spoiler-free review and a quick chat about it. But there will not be a Gen V season 3, and we'll probably talk about why. Oh, we'll definitely talk about why. So if you're into that, stick around. Also, this is recorded live, so if you're watching and you would like to hear your name said on the internet, like if that's what you've always wanted for yourself, say hi in the chat and we'll probably respond.
If you're watching this later after it's been, edited for YouTube,
none of this makes sense then.
Sorry, you're too late.
Before we get started, there are a couple random things I want to talk about real quick.
Okay.
There's a couple of things that I've had a really busy week. But there are a couple of things that have come onto my radar. And one of them is insane and crazy, and I don't know what to think about it yet. And I'm eager to share it with you. And the other one's not that crazy, just something really cool. So I'm going to start with the mundane one first, which is that I think about this time last year, they released a novel that is in the Tim Burton, Michael Keaton Batman verse.
Yes.
Right. Called Batman Resurrection. Okay. And it's like a full-length novel. Main character is Batman Bruce Wayne. It takes place just weeks after the events of 89 Batman. So Joker just died and everything. And it was really cool because it brought into the Keaton verse Clayface as a Batman villain, which, like, Clayface is hard enough to do in live action. I don't know if you know anything about Clayface.
His face is made of clay?
Well, his whole body's made of clay, and he can turn into anything, anywhere, and it's. But he would be a hard character to do in live action, especially in I don't know, maybe it would be easier with Tim Burton, because he'd probably have some real gross thing.
Yeah, probably.
That he would, But like they introduced him as a character, and also Hugo Strange, one of the famous Batman villains and everything. So this year, like a year later, they put out Batman Resurrection, which just came out a couple days ago. I've been reading a little bit. Introduces the Riddler.
Okay.
In the Tim Burton Keaton 89 Batman 89 verse, which is cool because we may have not talked about this because I know that we've watched Batman 89, and around Christmas time last year I think we made you watch Batman Returns.
Yes.
There's a famous story that they really wanted Jack Nicholson as the Joker for 89, and he did not want it at all because at that point he'd already done The Shining, I think, and he was very famous, and and so to tempt him, they asked Robin Williams to be the Joker, and he accepted, and that pissed Jack Nicholson off, and so he took the job because he didn't want Robin Williams to have it, and it started this feud between Warner Brothers and Robin Williams that would last for decades. Where he would not do a movie under that publisher, right? And that includes they approached him to do Riddler for Batman Forever instead of
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, right? So, and they were serious about that offer.
Yeah.
They really wanted Robin Williams to do it, but he just wouldn't do it.
Good for him for sticking to his guns.
Right. This is also the same guy, by the way, Robin Williams, after he did Mrs. Doubtfire, realized how much money he made for the studio and how much money he didn't get paid for it. Like, wrote someone and bitched about it and was like, you motherfuckers, I made you so much money for this movie, and they sent him a Picasso to like make him happy.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's hard not to imagine the Riddler in the Tim Burton verse without, if you know that story, without thinking kind of as is him like doing the role and everything. Yeah. Now, the thing is, I'm not very far into this book yet. The one thing that I love so far that just made me laugh is that Batman has a new vehicle.
Oh,
which
boy.
You might remember, or you might know, just in the earlier Batman films before they got dark and gritty and grounded. There's always a new Bat vehicle because they sell toys, right? So like there's the Batmobile and the Batwing in 89, and then he's got the Bat Missile in Batman Returns, and then the Bat ski boat thing.
Yeah.
And then there's a Bat boat, Yes. Swear to God, guys, in this book, Batman Revolution, Batman has invented the Bat van. And I'm not kidding. Like I'm being for real.
What does he need a van for that the Batmobile can't do?
It is a lot. As it turns out, a lot, because the Batmobile is a very good tank, right? However, it is not a very good mobile Batcave.
I see.
Because he can't carry all of his shit on him all the time, right? Sometimes he's got to go back home and pick up the bat shark repellent and come back. So he has this van that at first glance seems like a total normal fucking plumber's van.
Yeah.
And he gets in and he presses some buttons. Or no, I'm sorry. That's a lie. He doesn't press buttons. There's a bobblehead of the patron saint of transportation on the dash, and he turns it 180 degrees. And panels come out of the dashboard and shit, and everything changes. And it's like his mobile like Batcave, and he's like thinking about, oh, I'm gonna put some fucking lab equipment in here and like trick this motherfucker out and everything. So that's about as far as I've gotten into the Batman book. The Bat van has made its entrance, and I kind of love it. Also, the character from Batman Returns, played by Christopher Walken, Max Schreck, is in it as well, which is also a lot of fun. Okay, now I'm going to tell you about this other insane thing I've discovered, and then we'll get on to the Star Wars shit. Okay. John, my partner, introduced me to a show called The Chair Company.
Okay.
And he's like, I don't know how to because I'm like, what kind of show is it? And he's like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, just watch it. Okay, it's 30 minutes episode, just watch it. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I sit down, and The Chair Company is about this man living the American middle management dream, right?
Mhm.
He works for a development company who is about to break ground on a new mall.
Okay.
So he's the new project lead. So he's, the guy that's getting this mall built,
Yeah.
right? And they're about to break ground, and they're about to do this presentation for a bunch of company folks, and he's really nervous about it. And the guy himself, he's a little nerdy and a little weird. All of the people he works with are all kind of weird. Think like The Office and Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Okay? It's like that kind of like cringy thing.
Yeah.
And so he gets up and he does his presentation. And he does a great job. Despite being kind of nerdy and awkward and weird, he's apparently a good public speaker. And he nails his presentation that he was really nervous about. And he goes over to where other people are standing, where he's supposed to be taking a seat. And he sits down in this office chair up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And it collapses. It breaks.
Oh, that's not very good.
Right. And you wouldn't think, wow, what an inciting incident. But let me tell you.
Does this result in him going postal?
Well, he immediately stands up
Mm-hmm.
and makes light of it. Everyone kind of laughs about it. It's not that big of a deal.
Sure.
Right. And his recovery of it makes it okay. But he's the kind of guy where inside he is embarrassed to his fucking core. And he's so hard on himself that he's like looking at himself in the mirror. He's like, you fuck up that fucking chair. He's like that kind of guy, right? And he just spirals. And so he's like, you know what? I'm going to talk to whoever made this piece of shit chair, because it's dangerous. That thing could have fucking killed me, right? And so he goes down to the dark basement where they keep the broken chair, and he gets a picture of the brand, and he looks up their number and he calls their number, and he's going to go like all Karen on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, well, this isn't that company. It's like, we're a call center that services a bunch of different office furniture companies, but like, we'll be able to take care of your problem. And he's like, no, I want to speak to the manufacturer. Like, I don't want to talk to a call center guy. Like, I want to talk to someone someone who can make change on this issue. And she's like, well, I'm sorry, that's just not what we do. And so it hangs up. And so he goes to their website and he looks all over the place, and there's no way to email them. And he digs a little deeper and finds a support email and tries to send them an email. Like, puts his glasses on, dear, to whom it may concern.
Your chairs fucking suck,
Yes.
and they ruined my life.
Yes, it embarrassed me to my core. How can I ever carry on? And it immediately pops back undelivered. And he's like, well, what the fuck? Like, there's got to be some trace of this company somewhere.
Right about now, I can tell why John thought you would like this show. Because like, there's mysteries upon mysteries upon mysteries.
And it's such a stupid premise. And so he starts to dig a little bit deeper. And finally, it starts to affect, in this first episode, it starts to affect his work.
Yes.
Because he's spiraling so hard and he's obsessing so hard. And he drops the ball on something really important on this project. So he's like, you know what? Okay, this is obviously insane. I'm packing this shit away. Done. And so he finishes his workday. At the end of the episode, Chris, I swear to God, he's going to get in his car. And this guy comes up behind him with a metal bar and pushes into him and leans in and says, stop looking into the chair company. And like, you're just like, what the fuck? And the funniest bit of this, and I might have to show it to you so you understand how ridiculous this is. The main character gets really upset that this guy is like trying to knock him around. And the guy tries to run off, and he starts running after him. Like he's gonna, like he's like, why? Why wouldn't I look at? And the camera hits on the guy that's running away, and he's wearing this like Hawaiian shirt, and he starts unbuttoning it, and you're just like, what is happening? And it's because right as the guy gets closer, he reaches for him, and he grabs the back of his shirt, and he just lets it come off of him, so that he can get away. The whole thing is so batshit insane. I just like the end of that episode. I was just like, it is hard for a show to surprise me, right? I watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of movies. Most of that shit follows the same formula, the same character archetypes. This one, I was honestly at the end like, what the fuck did I just watch? So I watched the second episode, and also equally as insane. So if you've not seen The Chair Company yet, go and watch it. It is a fucking hoot. Oh, so far I've really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So yeah, there's the random shit, right?
All right.
Jimmy says, greetings thither. Is that what that says?
In that general direction, I think.
Okay, well, greetings to you as well. And then Steep says, Bat fan. I'm serious, man. Fucking patron saint of transportation right there on the dashboard. Turn 180 degrees. You have a mobile bat cave. Who would have thought? All right, Ahsoka Season 2 has a little bit of an update. We've heard from Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who we know is the wife of Jedi extraordinaire Ewan McGregor.
Well, when are we going to hear about Ewan McGregor about Ahsoka Season 2?
Well, he did. He said something about it a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
He's like, I know they're making it. My wife's in it.
Yeah, my wife goes to work every day.
Right. So Mary Elizabeth Winstead made some comments about Hera's role.
That she's in it more,
yeah.
and that she's having a lot of fun. And like, of course, General Hera fucking Syndulla is involved when
be more involved.
When Grand Admiral Thrawn has shown up and is, launching war on the entire Republic.
She's the only one she's one of the very few people that have fought him directly.
Yeah.
Right. And given how big of a role she plays in Rebels, it would be nice to see more of the character. And I think that this probably by extension means we get to see Jason Syndulla a little more. Her kid, the burgeoning Jedi. Mm-hmm. The thing that I was really excited about this though was that there was at New York Comic Con, I think I don't know how we missed this, but there was a little bit of a tease during one of the panels because Dave Filoni was talking about apparently in Ahsoka Season 2 they have planned this epic Thrawn versus Admiral Akbar space battle.
Oh yeah,
which is so much like the like Legends, right? Because that was Thrawn. Akbar was Thrawn's like equal on in the New Republic because. With everything you could say about Thrawn being a military genius of tactics, Akbar is that as well. He doesn't do it the same way. He's like, oh, I saw you drew a dick in high school, and now I know exactly everything you're thinking, right? Yeah. But he's also in his own right, like a military tactics and naval tactics like savant.
He's not just the funny guy who sits on the ship and says,
right. Which I swear to God, if they don't do that at some point. So, not a ton of updates on Ahsoka, just enough to get us really excited for the next one.
Yeah, they're done filming. Yeah. It's going to take a while to get through production, but
this was one I was really kind of surprised about, and the reason I'm surprised is because Adam Driver is the reason we know about this in the first place. Mm-hmm. This wasn't just a rumor that kind of came through the rumor mill.
No, this is Adam Driver straight up saying,
yes. So it turns out that he and somebody wrote a Ben Solo sequel movie and tried to sell it to Lucasfilm. And it was going to take place. What was it? It was going to take place after
Steven Soderbergh is who wrote it.
Oh yeah, okay. And so this it was going to be called The Hunt for Ben Solo. Or that's what the working title was. Yeah. So Adam Driver on the script said one of the coolest scripts I'd ever been a part of, or I apparently would have ever been a part of, and it would have followed Ben Solo after his apparent death in The Rise of Skywalker, which means that it would have been after Rise of Skywalker, and they would have brought the character back. So, were you about to say something?
Well, there's two things here. Number one, it's kind of easy for him to say it's the coolest thing I ever would have been a part of when no one's ever going to see it or probably even ever read the script.
Right. Yeah.
Number two. The big problem with trying to use Ben Solo after Rise of Skywalker is that you need to explain to all the normies how he's alive.
Okay, so which brings us to the next problem, which is that apparently, and we're going to talk about this too because this sounded weird to me. Apparently, Lucasfilm loved it, but Bob Iger vetoed.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to get into the weirdness of that here in a second. And the reason, apparently, that Disney wasn't crazy about it was because they couldn't figure out a way for him to be alive.
Yeah.
They were like, but how? Right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, Ben Solo dies at the end of Rise of Skywalker.
He doesn't
spoilers
just die.
If you haven't seen it, but like he disappears.
Right. He doesn't just
His body
die.
is gone.
Yeah, so right
away you have an issue. Like as soon as the existence of this movie leaked, as soon as they started doing any promotion whatsoever, the number one thing they had to do is explain how the fuck this motherfucker who you saw disappear on screen
become a Force
is
ghost.
Still alive.
Right. It would be the first question everyone's asking, like how, right? And that apparently is the question that that Disney couldn't figure out, but apparently Lucasfilm did. Now, this is the weird thing about this, is that this is not how movies are made at Lucasfilm. Executives at Bob Iger's level do not step in to deal with stuff this small. Generally, the green light, all the decisions are made at the end of the line by the president of Lucasfilm.
Yes.
Think of it.
Bob Iger hires the people who make these decisions.
Right. Yeah. It's fairly rare. So like you could expect Bob Iger to weigh in on the start of a new trilogy, some like real like huge budget thing.
Yeah, like long-term plans.
Right.
Because that's what he does as CEO.
It is not common for people like Bob Iger to get kind of like to have their attention brought to this one like smaller kind of movie or that like idea. This is something that Lucasfilm could have made if they wanted to. So I'm wondering if maybe Kathleen Kennedy didn't have a discussion with Adam Driver. Was like, Adam, I love it so much, but Bob. And then as soon as he leaves, she's like, oh, that movie's so fucking terrible. We're never making that movie.
It's entirely possible. It's also possible that Kathleen Kennedy just saw the problem that I just said.
Right.
And it's also possible that Adam Driver doesn't want to like put the blame on Kathleen Kennedy because like she already gets enough blame for enough shit that she doesn't do anyway.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Someone invited me to sign a change.org petition to get this movie made.
Oh, I was going to say, like, did they ask you to sign a change.org petition to have Kathleen Kennedy drawn and quartered at dawn?
No, I haven't seen one of those in a while. No, it was to get the movie made, and I was like, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to sign that because I don't think this movie should be made.
Yeah.
I think that some of the most immersion-breaking things in Star Wars is when suddenly they're not dead, right?
Somehow the Emperor returns.
Somehow Chewbacca returns. Somehow 3PO's memory wasn't wiped, or permanently wiped, or, you know, somehow she was your sister the whole fucking time.
Death has to mean something,
right,
or else nothing means anything.
Right. So, like, am I happy with how it ended and how... Let me reframe a different way.
Rise of Skywalker was kind of mid.
Yeah. Was I confused about the ending of Rise of Skywalker? Yes. Why did Rey die? I don't know. Okay. But then Ben brought her back. Okay. But then he turned into a Force ghost, and this all happens within like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing was a little like, oh, okay, this is weird. But we've never once in canon or legends know that of a time, or even know that it's possible. In fact, I think it's safe to assume that it's not, of a Force ghost, because that's what happened to him, right? His body fucking disappeared, coming back to their corporeal form.
The only thing that's even remotely close is
Yoda.
Palpatine. and that's like,
well, that's cloning dark magic.
yes,
shit.
that's very explicitly not something that good guys do.
In fact, we didn't even know that Force ghosts could affect the physical universe until Last Jedi, when
Until Yoda calls them a fucking lightning bolt.
right. Until then, I don't think I think everyone assumed that maybe they like they couldn't really affect anything at all, or do they know everything there is to, like, are they?
I mean, technically, there is that moment in Return of the Jedi when Obi-Wan sits down on the log.
True, and Yoda also does hit Luke in the face with his cane in Last Jedi.
Yeah.
So they can touch things.
Mm-hmm.
But this idea of them coming back and just being alive, that's just, it feels kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
I agree with Adam Driver. I think I would have liked to see a different story for Ben Solo. But that's not the story we got, unfortunately, and we kind of had to live with it. Star Wars: The Old Republic. It looks like I'm gonna have to get into this game again because they're still making content for it, which is I feel like every time we say this, or every time we get into this, I have to say something like, "How are they still making content for this fucking game?"
It apparently makes just enough money to justify them continuing to dribble out stuff, but not so much that they're like investing a lot of money into it.
Well, this is kind of okay. So the headline here is that Star Wars: The Old Republic is getting a new update, but it's kind of a big update. Is the thing? Is there? So do you know how much of this game have you played? If you're watching, let me know as well. Was Dantooine something that was added way later?
I think it was, because like last time,
because I don't remember that being in the
like
game.
Knights of the Fallen Empire or something,
Yeah.
and Dantooine definitely didn't exist then.
Right, so they're tweaking a lot of that. So they're adding dynamic encounters, where there'll be new missions that populate in the Outer Rim worlds that are timed and repeatable, and they're meant to make each planet feel more alive. And then they're overhauling Dantooine. So there are going to be 3 new biomes. There's going to be this crashed ship. There's going to be a big
bunch of droids
planetary
you have
boss
to beat up, and
right. And then they're doing like basic base building on Dantooine as well, where you can make your little house, and
which I've done on a bunch of other planets as well. Like,
I know you can get an apartment, right?
Yeah.
And I think
like you can even build a little thing on Yavin 4, and it's like a temple.
I didn't know that. I have a guild stronghold.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, actually.
Yeah. I've not played in at least a couple of years.
I don't think either of us have played in like a decade.
Yeah, well, no, I played 2 years ago.
Okay.
Because I was gonna play with our friend Sean, but then when I downloaded it, he never messaged me about playing. So
what the fuck, Sean?
Yeah,
come on.
So thanks. So I played it on my own a whole bunch. I should get back into it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll do a stream on it or something. Anyway, new update coming to Old Republic.
I'm pretty sure they're still owned by EA, which means Saudi Arabia.
That's our Saudi Arabia sound. Jimmy says I was trying an alternative for Hello There. You know, it works for me. I heard George was keen to direct the Ben movie. Oh, speaking of George.
Oh, yeah.
Let's skip to that one real quick, and we'll come back.
Down.
Because okay, so
can I just read this headline?
Sure.
Because it's wonderful. Quote: George Lucas has moved past Star Wars 13 years after selling it to Disney for $4 billion.
Yep.
Quote, I've got a life. Which, good for you, George, honestly.
Yeah, so basically, the reason I'm bringing this up after reading that was that it appears that George Lucas is a little tired of people asking him about Star Wars.
Which, fair enough. Like, it hasn't been his responsibility for over a decade.
Right, and he's in the middle of building a new museum.
And even when it was his responsibility, he was tired of people talking to him about Star Wars.
Right.
He was like, hey, I used to be the American Graffiti guy. People would ask me about American Graffiti. Now it's just all Star Wars all the time. What the fuck?
Ask me about Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Or THX 1138.
Yeah. So yeah, he's like, guys, I have a wife, a real hot fucking wife, and
4 kids,
four kids. I'm building this fucking museum. I'm $4 billion richer, and I don't give a fuck about Star Wars. So please stop asking me about Star Wars. Now, the reason I put this on a rundown today is because I saw rumors like this, where apparently George might have been considered to direct this Ben Solo thing, or that he was going to be directing some other thing. He is not, right?
George Lucas, number one, is 81 years old.
Yeah.
Number two, has at least $4 billion in the bank.
Yeah.
Like, he does not have to do anything if he doesn't want to.
Why would he sell his creation for $4 billion?
And then go to work for somebody else.
Yeah. Well, no, not somebody else. Okay, so he sells it for $4 billion to a company that at the beginning he wasn't very shy about saying, those weren't the ideas I had, and I think it's a little shitty that they just threw them all out. Which, by the way, what do you expect? He sold the whole fucking thing. Like, it's out of your hands.
Yeah, you don't get to make those decisions anymore.
He's not going to go and then be an employee to them. Like, if you had $4 billion, would you work for anyone? Because I definitely would, because that's what it would be. Unless Disney gave him an all an all access pass to do literally whatever he wanted with whatever budget, with any impact on the brand that he wanted, which is the only way he would ever do this. And however, simultaneously, Lucasfilm will never do it.
Yes.
Like, Disney and Lucasfilm will never give him the freedom that it would take for him to make a Star Wars thing.
Because if they did that, we'd get like a 3-hour documentary about the Whills or something.
Right, yeah. Or
midi-chlorians.
little cities in the midi-chlorians or some shit. Right. So, guys, George Lucas, and he's officially told us now.
Yes.
He's done with Star Wars.
He's moved on.
He's tired of hearing about it.
Please,
stop bothering
everyone else, move on as well.
Stop calling him. Oh, here's a interesting thing. Star Wars Eclipse apparently still happening.
Yeah. Like, this game is fucking mystifying because, like, we got that one really cool cinematic trailer that had all these striking visuals and the cool music and, like, the drummer guys and, like, this shot of Yoda doing something cool. And then, like, a month later, we heard, oh, actually, the game's canceled. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, because they sold it, right?
Yeah. Well, they had some sort of chaos at the studio, and some people got fired or quit or something. Yeah. But
now, the reason people are kind of weird about this is because Quantic Dream is, or whatever company they ended up being sold to or whatever, they're doing multiplayer titles that they're, like, investing a lot of resources in,
which is very much not their thing. Like, they've traditionally done very plot-based narrative
like Detroit Becoming Human,
and Heavy Rain,
yeah. So, like, everyone's like, are you sure you're still doing Star Wars? And they're like, yeah, no, we totally are, yeah. Which, if they weren't, I have a feeling they wouldn't say anything at all.
Probably. Because, like, this didn't come from, like, an interview or anything. This was, like, that the studio founder made a fucking blog post that said, yes, we are working on Star Wars Eclipse.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do that. Like, if they weren't working on it,
right.
He just had to not mention it.
Right. Yeah, that's bizarre. So, I think it is probably safe to assume maybe one day in 2040 we'll probably get a fucking Star Wars game from
4
them.
years from now, we might get another trailer or something. But
so, when it does come, I guess I'll play it.
Yeah.
Is fucking what is that one Star Wars game that's supposed to be coming out soon? But it was that one that was like kind of like XCOM.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I haven't heard anything about it.
I haven't either. And wasn't that coming from EA?
Maybe.
But now EA is all fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll look into that. If there's any news, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, next week we're not having our show at our normal time on Saturday.
On Wednesday.
Or Wednesday. Yeah, we're going
to be on Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to be on Saturday. That way we can talk about Star Wars Visions.
Because they're dropping the entire fucking season on a Tuesday?
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
No, on the day we're supposed to do
Wednesday,
our show. Yeah.
And I have a job, so I can't watch all that shit.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next Saturday.
Yeah. And we're also going to watch Welcome to Derry as well. That way we've got enough time to kind of consume all that and think about it and talk to you guys about it. So that'll be next Saturday, but then we'll return to our normal schedule after that. All right. Gen V Season 2.
Yes.
Season finale is upon us. We've watched it. We've thought about it. Mm-hmm. Let's do real quick a spoiler-free season retrospective.
Yeah. So I think we said at the very beginning, this entire season is sort of under the shadow of the death of Chance Perdue,
That
yes,
guy, yeah.
the guy who played Andre in season 1, and like pretty much every single episode, someone's saying, "Man, I miss Andre," or "Man, it sucks that Andre died," and like I can see the vision of like what the writers sort of wanted that character to be doing, and it's. I have to imagine that everyone involved in the show took his death even harder than fans did, because like it is genuinely under that cloud.
Yeah, he was also really young as well, which is always kind of shocking.
He's also
to people.
really good.
Yeah. I think they handled that about as well as you can.
Yeah, they gave him a objectively pretty heroic and badass death. And
they also kind of folded in. I bet that what they had planned for him ended up being what Polarity was
probably
this season, because they have really similar power sets and everything, and
basically the same.
Yeah, and I think that they, that those plot beats they gave to Polarity, but to enrich his character, he was dealing with the death of his son, which actually ended up being a powerful motivator for that character, and led to a pretty touching moment in this episode, in a conversation he had with someone else. So that was cool. I'm a little disappointed at one of the villains. How do I say this so it's spoiler free? One of the villains didn't go the direction that I thought he was going to, which I was a little, I was disappointed in that.
Did you feel like they wrapped up the plot a little bit suddenly?
Yeah, I thought that was gonna go into my next point, which is
I feel like they could have done another episode, honestly,
or just more than an episode.
Yeah.
Which leads me to my next point, is that there obviously is not going to be a Gen V season 2 or 3, because it looks like they're at the point where they're merging everything just back into the boys, which I think is probably a good idea anyway.
There are, I think there's arguments to be made both ways. Like, this is a weird example, but you remember back when when Disney first bought Star Wars, and they said we're going to do a trilogy movie, and then the next year is going to be a Star Wars story, and then the next year is going to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
It seems to me like Amazon could have, and maybe was trying to do, a similar thing with The Boys, where it was The Boys, Gen V, The Boys, Gen V. And
well, the problem with that is that it happens in the same timeline.
Yeah.
Or not same, like the same era. So like these like the consequences of these events are bound to bump up against one another.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to make everything kind of like one story at some point.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm thinking of this like in terms of sort of like comic books, where like,
okay,
I'm an X-Men fan. There's like a billion different X-Men books.
Yeah. They
They all take place at the same time, and like characters from one will sometimes interact with characters from another, but the storylines all kind of interweave,
So you think that there's going to be a Gen V season 3 then?
Maybe.
Or like a separate
I think you could have the Gen V characters appear in The Boys, but I think you could also do another season of Gen V where like they're the focus and The Boys characters sometimes show up.
Okay. Well, only time will tell.
Yeah.
So we're going into spoilers for this. If you've not seen it, go and watch it. If you have seen it, hey, what's up, Joe? If you have seen it, you want to weigh in with what you thought on the season as a whole, put it in the comments. We would like that. It would please us. Okay, so we open up on 1967.
Yep.
Great year. 20 years before I was born. Godolkin.
Everything's on fire.
Which, by the way, I did not realize that Godolkin is played by the same actor that plays the Munchkin guy in Wicked.
Yeah, I thought he looked familiar, but I couldn't place him.
Which, by the way, that second movie is coming out next month. We're going to have to see it. Yeah. So yeah, that guy is Godolkin. I didn't realize until John because I sent him pictures for our thumbnails, and he was like, "Is that the guy from Wicked?" And I was like, "No, he's from Gen V." And he's like, "No, it's like the same actor." Okay, so Godolkin is trapped in that fire.
Yes, everything's on fire.
Right.
But he sees a little blue vial.
Last ditch effort.
Yep.
Right. He's going to inject himself with
well,
compound
shit,
V.
I just watched all my friends fucking inject themselves with V and then fucking explode.
Yeah, or had tentacles come out of their butt or
But
something.
maybe things will turn out better for me.
Right. Now, I'll also remind you as we go along here that I do my notes as I watch the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So some things haven't happened yet. So like in my notes here, I say, guess he's hoping it'll either give him superpowers to survive or kill him more quickly than the fire.
Yes.
Right? Because he watched all of those other guys suffer terrible, terrible deaths.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So injects himself, and then I have in my notes, well, it obviously didn't protect him from the fire.
Yes, he catches on fire, and that's how he becomes burned and fucked up in the
Present day.
very recent past.
Right. Speaking of which, present day. So in my notes, I have Cypher because I couldn't remember his name, but you told me it's Doug. Doug is coughing up blood.
Yes.
Why? Because he's just a normal dude, and he's
just a normal dude, and he
Yeah.
got the shit beaten out of him by a half dozen soups.
Yeah, so he obviously has some internal injuries, and he needs to go to an emergency room. So Doug tells us that Godolkin took the same compound V as Soldier Boy in Stormfront.
Is it public knowledge that Stormfront didn't age? Or is that like something that he's kind of speaking through the screen to us, the audience?
Like, are we supposed to know she didn't age?
We are, because like she said so in whatever season she appeared in. I'm
Like, this is a
asking
public at large
if
in the
it's
story?
in-universe knowledge. Because like people probably figure Soldier Boy, because like...
Well, because he's famous back then,
Yes,
right?
But the whole point of Stormfront was supposed to be that no one knew that she was actually an original Nazi.
Right, but that was the big controversy, was that she was a Nazi. And like people figured it out, right?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, so basically, Godolkin took the same compound V,
Yes.
right? So he doesn't age either.
Mm-hmm.
And which I also said, I guess this is not the V that the other guys took when they all died. Otherwise, they would have had good superpowers and not blow up.
Well, the whole point of Compound V, I think, is that it's supposed to be very unstable if you're not like a baby or an embryo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And like it's rare that adults who get V jammed into their systems survive.
So he just flipped a coin.
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, you saw his 5 buddies all died horribly, so we know the rate is
at least 1 in 6?
At best 1 in 6.
Yeah. So Doug also reveals that he's the second puppet that Cypher had, and the first one is dead. And then Emma shows up and says the words that everyone's always happy to hear: "Good news, Vicodin." So she gives it's for Doug, because Doug is actually quite in a lot of pain.
Yes.
So Doug explains how he was approached to become, the puppet. And
He was a VCR repair guy, and Cypher called him to the house and said, "Hey, can you fix my VCR? Also, let's talk. Oh, you don't have any family or friends? That's interesting.
Well,
hey, you want to be my meat puppet?
Yeah, you are belong to me now." So Marie, while he's telling the story, attempts to heal him, but she can't because she's too weakened from healing Godolkin. So Godolkin,
and Doug is very sweet about it. He's like, "Oh, thanks for trying.
Right.
Just take me to a hospital somewhere."
right? Yeah, please, for the love of God, take me to an emergency room. I am very injured. So, Godolkin took over Doug. Had Doug kill Dr. Fielder, who was the first puppet or whatever. There's another big reveal. Godolkin tried to take Marie over several times at Elmira to make her heal him, but she's too powerful.
Yeah.
So they've got that little bit of that little tidbit hanging around too. So he obviously is not strong enough yet to take her over. So they're starting to realize that Doug is in pretty bad shape.
Yes.
So Polarity is like, you know what? I know this doctor. I'm gonna put him in the car, and you guys lay low. I'll take him to a doctor, and everything will be fine. So, in my notes I'm starting to get a weird vibe about Doug, and then I said maybe it's because I'm primed to expect another twist, but his nice guy thing seems performative. or it's just him being so relieved that he's finally free. Which, knowing what I know now, he was just a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's just a really nice guy, right? So Godolkin does what anyone would do in his situation, which was that yesterday he was a burnt, crispy, old 104-year-old man.
Yes.
Now he's young. He's got all of his skin back. His dick is back. So he does what literally...
He can taste things.
He can taste things. So he does what literally all of us would do. He eats all of his favorite foods. He drinks his favorite wine. And then he fucks Sister Sage. Because they're together for some reason. So...
I think what it is that Sage is attracted to his intelligence and quite possibly his power. Like... I was thinking about this. She had to fucking lobotomize herself in order to stomach having sex with the Deep.
And she didn't do that with Godolkin.
Right. Like, objectively, the Deep is a pretty attractive man.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah.
But
the gills, though, I'm saying as a gay man, probably still would.
Yeah. But, like, he's so fucking stupid.
And
so self-absorbed.
No, he is dumb.
Yeah.
They name drop him later, by the way.
Yeah.
Godolkin's like, what the fuck is he doing on the 7?
But with Godolkin, Sage can be herself, and like she seems to be really into him.
Yeah. Also, I always imagine that a character like Sister Sage is always doing the 6 steps ahead 4D chess thing.
Yeah.
So it could be anything, right? It could be literally like at the end of this entire story, it could just be Sister Sage left, being like, "This is exactly what I thought."
Yeah, maybe.
So we get some more reveals. Sister Sage tells Godolkin that she planted the Odessa material for Starlight to find. She advised Godolkin to send Murray back to school. And it's just now dawning on me how insanely powerful a pair the two of them are together, specifically, and it's very scary. The fact that Sister Sage can strategize at like God level.
Like 30 steps ahead, and then you have Godolkin who can like impersonate anyone and just nudge, just
cancel people's free will,
Yep.
right, and just take them over. It's like the two of them together. That's fucking crazy. So, there's kind of a cute moment, even though we know these are the bad guys.
Yes. Sage is like, hey, I got this apartment in the tower, but it's really big. There's a big bed. Like, you want to move in with me?
We could fuck. A lot.
And Godolkin is like, oh, you're vulnerable. That's such a turnoff.
Yeah, which, by the way, she was like, hey, fuck off, man. Don't give me that shit. It's a weirdly human interaction.
Yeah.
But Godolkin eventually says yes, right?
Yes.
So they start to plan on how to introduce Godolkin to Homelander without spooking him, because Sister Sage is right. Homelander is not going to take this well, that there's a man out there that is possibly... could give him a run for his money, because as we find out a little bit later in one of Godolkin's monologues, Homelander has celebrated the mediocrity of God U because none of them can challenge him.
He is paranoid to the extreme, and is not he's a lot like Palpatine. He's not interested in grooming any successors. He wants to rule forever,
right? Except that he doesn't. So Palpatine has an amazing confidence. Homelander does not.
Yes.
Homelander is deeply.
He's paranoid and
insecure.
Petty and
yeah. So he tends to kill soups that he think might be able to challenge him at some point. That's the thing about Palpatine, is that actually because of his philosophy, he would want to expose himself to someone who might be able to kill him. And if he can win, then he's the more powerful for it. Homelander is not like that, right? He wants the lowest common denominator so they're easier to rule, right? So, a little bit of Star Wars. A little bit of Star Wars Gen V / The Boys analysis there. You can only get that on this channel, I think.
Probably.
So... Godolkin mentions he has one more class to teach.
And Sage immediately gets very suspicious.
She's like,
what?
Wait,
like,
what?
You're not a professor,
right?
Dear.
You don't even work here. Like, the school's named after you, but you are not on payroll here. So she asks him what's more important than the work that they have planned, because they have this whole plan, right? And Godolkin says, well, bitch, I'll show you.
You're about to find out.
So Polarity gives Doug a ride to the hospital. And so Doug tells Polarity that he would have been proud of Andre. And this is the scene I was talking about where watching it, I was like, this is actually really sweet.
Yeah.
And I know that this scene's going to end in someone dying because it's the boys and that's always what happens. But this conversation they have, he says that he would have been proud of Andre. There's a really sweet moment where he tells Polarity how much he loved him, Doug loved him, and how much trouble he created for Godolkin.
Like at one point, he pissed in Cypher's coffee.
Right.
No idea how that even happened. Right. Like he was locked in a cell.
Right.
But he still managed to piss in Cypher's coffee.
Right. And which tracked so hard for Andre's character that Polarity was like, that sounds just like my son. Mm-hmm. And this moment seems to help Polarity immensely. Just this, like, I don't know if it's vindication, even if that's the right word, or it's just the fact that he got this unfiltered look at what his son was like in the face of adversity without someone trying to manipulate him by telling him, that it just kind of seems like it really helped him in the moment to hear these things about his son. So, and then he says, talking about Andre, he was fearless and risked everything for the sake of his friends. Your son is the greatest hero I've ever seen. And you could just see Polarity just kind of like neural pathways like fixed themselves a little bit, and he was able to process his son's death a little bit more, or a little bit better. So
of course, right after that,
I don't know even what happened. Like
Katana comes through the roof of the car, stabs Doug.
He's spraying blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, Doug was probably on the way out anyway.
Yes.
Let's be honest. The injuries he sustained, they probably would have gotten him in the hospital, and they would have been like, I don't know what the fuck we do with this.
Give him extra Vicodin?
Yeah. So he's definitely dead now.
Yes.
Go ahead.
This is Black Noir, which I don't know how we forgot about this last week, but Black Noir was in the trailers for this season, and like he had never shown up to this point.
I don't think I watched a lot of the trailers.
Oh, well, that might be it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Black Noir fucking, after stabbing Doug, tosses a tear gas grenade into the car, and Polarity gets out and
he takes a selfie with him.
Yeah. Fucking Black Noir just pulls out his phone, takes a little selfie with his corpse. And
well, not his corpse. He's still alive.
Yeah.
So back in the dorms, the group tries to figure out what they're going to do, right? Mm-hmm. And they don't want Marie puppeted by Godolkin.
That would be bad.
Because I don't think they realize that Godolkin isn't able to do it yet.
Yeah.
So there's a cool thing where Marie says that Godolkin didn't get in her head like he did other people, but he did convince her that she was special and the chosen one, and that was as effective, right? That he didn't use his power to get in her brain.
He still manipulated her.
Right. And like that's a Palpatine move, right? Mm-hmm. So we get a sweet line from Emma about how it's like between Emma, Marie, and Kate about how they formed a found family to help each other carry their baggage. And there's this really funny moment where they do a group hug, and then Emma says, "We're just one step closer to a threesome," which is actually really funny.
Kate is like, "No, thanks."
I don't think so.
Which, whatever.
Marie and Kate find themselves alone, and Marie apologizes, and then immediately heals her. Mm-hmm. She's like, I'm sorry, fucking give me your hand, and just fucking heals her on the spot. And Kate's like,
holy shit.
Well, okay.
I can do brain stuff again.
Yeah, I did not. I honestly given up on this, so thank you. On campus, students open TikTok or whatever the VOT equivalent of this is.
VOT talk?
Yeah, and they see, I think that's in my notes later.
VicVoc?
Yeah. They see a video of Godolkin.
Yes.
He comes out and says he's a proud superhero, which is not what Sister Sage wanted him to say.
No. Like halfway through it, Sister Sage is watching this on her phone like, this is not how we were supposed to come out to Homelander.
Sister Sage is like, oh no, is he a dumbass actually? If I fell in love with another dumbass. So Godolkin has reset all student rankings to 0, and he opens his special seminar to any and all students. Yes. So Jordan immediately is like, obviously a trap to lure Marie into the seminar to try to save everyone. And Marie says, I'm done being the chosen one, or what, so whatever we do, we do together. So they decide to warn everyone. And Marie puts out her own VOT talk, telling everyone not to believe Godolkin or to go. And Emma and Sam they go to the frat house and try to tell the frat boys not to go, right? Now, Sam says, so the date rape guy, Rufy, is there.
Yes.
Or Rufus, or whatever the fuck his name is. He's like, look, you can't go. And he's like, well, I'm going to go anyway. He's like, well, for your own protection, I'm going to stop you. And then something really bizarre happens. He loses time. Ravel's Bolero is blasting all of a sudden for no reason. And the pledges in the frat house are doing burpees in front of them. And Sam and Emma have dicks drawn on their faces. And they're just standing there like, what just happened?
They got roofied.
So it turns out the black hole guy.
Black hole. Yeah.
No, I think legally
his name's literally Black Hole.
I understand, but I think legally you have to say black hole.
Okay.
Because it's a hole, his butthole.
Yes.
It is a black hole, which is a singularity.
Okay.
Black hole. If you agree with me, and you obviously do, put it in the comments. So he stayed behind because he's like, okay.
Someone has to make sure these two don't, fall over and break their heads. And also, I want to draw dicks on their faces.
Yeah, but he was also like, look, I am a stupid, dumbass frat guy, but there's something sus about this whole seminar thing, so I'm not doing that. So Godolkin addresses a group of students who have showed up to the seminar. And he calls out Roofy guy. He's like, you knock people out and, assault them and everything. And one of the girls behind him says, he doesn't do that anymore, sir. He doesn't have a dick. Which I thought was really funny because I had forgotten that, who was it, Marie, that exploded his penis?
I think so.
In the last season? Yeah.
So somebody made it so he don't have a dick anymore.
Yeah. So sad. So Godolkin...
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So Godolkin tells them that they've been invited not because they're exceptional, but because they are failures. And while Sister Sage is watching this happen, she gets a call from Homelander, who has seen the Vought talk.
Yes.
And she sends him straight to voicemail.
Yep.
So Godolkin tells them, like, all you have to do is stop me from pushing the button over there. It's just like that fucking training exercise from earlier in the season. Redhead girl tries to blast him, and he controls a student and kills her, and then starts taking over other students, and they're killing each other. And we found out that using his powers causes his skin to kind of like bubble and burn a little bit. He presses the button, and he turns around, and there's a room full of dead kids.
Well, dead and
or at least
dead.
Very maimed, very maimed kids. Yeah.
So he goes up to the balcony and talks to Sister Sage. He's like, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey, girl, what's up? So,
like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, hold on a second, because Murray and Jordan figure out his plan. Because Murray was like, oh yeah, he did say something about calling the herd, so that's probably what he's doing.
Yeah.
Jordan forgives Murray for leaving her, but says they can't be together. She's like, we're just gonna be friends, Kay. But before they can work it out, Annabeth and Kate show up. Murray tells Annabeth she has to leave because she's not safe. Then Emma, Sam, and Greg shows up. Which you can tell this whole fucking episode, every time Greg and Sam are in a scene together, they're doing they're side-eyeing each other.
Their hackles are up.
Yeah. So they show up, they have an idea. Okay. So we find out that Godolkin wasn't just controlling one of those kids, he was controlling all of them, which is actually
he's never done that.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Sister Sage seems pretty rattled by this entire thing, and she asks him what he's doing. He's like, I'm learning. I'm applying my own principles to myself. And
she's like, bro, your skin is on fire.
Yeah, you're having skin problems. Godolkin's plan is to push himself until he's powerful enough to control Murray, right? Which, by his estimation,
makes him powerful enough to control Homelander.
Yes, but also, by his estimation, should take about 2 or 3 hours. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, but his logic is that if he's strong enough to control Murray, he's strong enough to control Homelander. And
because they're both Odessa children.
Honestly, sounds logic. That makes sense, right? So, Sister Sage is upset because this isn't a part of the plan. She mentions phase 2 of the plan, which apparently requires Homelander alive to do something, right?
I guess.
But we don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. But Godolkin is altering the plan, and pray he doesn't alter it any further.
He's like, yeah, but my plan's better.
Yeah. Actually, we're going with my plan. So
Sage is like, which one of us is the smartest person in the world here?
Did I fall in love with an idiot again? So he turns around and puts on some Ella Fitzgerald, put on a happy face, and makes all the maimed kids get up and dance.
Yes.
And it's honestly fucking hilarious.
It's hilarious in the way that The Boys is.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely dark humor because
Yeah.
it's also really fucked up.
Right. And this is right around where Sister Sage is starting to think, maybe this isn't going as well
Maybe I
as
need
she
to
thought.
bail
Yeah.
out here.
So, while Polarity is in captivity, Black Noir turns into a total Star Wars fan
Yes.
and starts harassing him about his movie.
He's just sitting on the floor like, oh man, like, you know, in Polarity 3 they did this and it creates a plot hole in Polarity 4.
Because you know how Star Wars fans on social media love to do it's clearly established.
Yeah.
And it's like, first of all, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Your knowledge of Star Wars goes about as deep as the movies go, and literally no deeper. So don't come at me, a real fucking Star Wars fan, and talk about clearly established force powers when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Not that you're sensitive about this or anything.
I see that shit on social media all the time. Clearly established lore. Clearly established. Luke moved a black hole. First of all, no, he didn't. It wasn't an actual black hole. It was something else. But if you had read the fucking book, you would have known that. So that's fine. You read the Wikipedia entry on it, and that's about as far as you went. Where was I? Anyway, he's doing that
yes.
shit, right? Where he's like, and by the way, the ending of your movie was a slap in the face to the fans.
Yeah.
Another thing Star Wars fucking fans love to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
like, Polarity's trying to play along, but he's like really not into this.
Also, what else is he gonna do? He's in captivity, so he's like, whatever, dude.
And then Sage shows up, is like, hey, Black Noir, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, she's like, get out. She deduces that Marie healed him because she's like, you're not limping on that side.
Yeah.
You
Your
seem
brain
to be
is
doing
better.
great. Yeah. So she says something really weird about. Basically, she says, like, you're eventually gonna die, but you're not gonna die today. Not that it matters. Everything ends the same. And I took this to mean that all the possibilities that Sister Sage is running in her brain all arrive at the same endgame, and that endgame might be pretty bleak.
I assume that, like, her plan was what she thought was the best way to prevent Homelander from killing everybody.
Right.
And with that plan falling apart, now there's nothing but Homelander.
Yeah. So she leaves, and then she leaves the door open so Polarity can escape. So I think Sister Sage now is officially spinning her own little web again, right? She's out on her own again.
She has cut ties.
Right. So the next class comes in with Godolkin. Kate brainwashes Vance, who is the guy that's like helping Godolkin do everything, to admit one more student, and it's Marie. So Godolkin apparently needs a couple more hours before he can deal with Marie. So she tells him, she's like, if you let everyone go, I won't kill you. And he's like, well, that's really generous, but I'm going to take control of everyone, and I'm going to send them after you. So Marie fights her way through everyone. It turns out Black Hole guy is hiding Jordan and all of her friends in his ass. So
she says, like, Jordan blasts out the dude's ass, and then he drops pants, and they all fall out, and it's all very gross.
So it is really disgusting. So the odds are a little more even because there are too many people for Godolkin to control, right? So like before, that was like he could control that amount of people. Now he can't.
And then Emma's friends get up to Godolkin.
Yep, Emma gets big, and knocks him across the room. They restrain him with Check's notes, pubic hair.
Yes.
Yeah, it says pubic hair. And then the girl that can mimic powers steals his powers and controls Godolkin. And there's this hilarious moment where she's like, holy shit, it worked. Oh my God.
And like they're both looking at their hands. Am I controlling his powers? Am I controlling all of these people?
Yeah. That was a really, I really like that actor actually. So they evacuate everyone. They have 50 seconds before they're like her power. Because she can only mimic people's powers.
Like
right.
Yeah.
So Annabeth and Kate show up. They all approach Godolkin, and Marie's like, we beat you, all of us, even the one with the pubic hair, dude. Like, all of us used our stupid butthole black hole powers, and we worked together, and we beat you, Mr. fucking Let's Call the Herd.
And while she's gloating, their 50 seconds run out, and Godolkin's like, hey, wait a minute. I can control you now.
Yeah. Oh, no, not yet. Because Marie picks him up like Elon the goat, and is going to, like, I don't know, explode him or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that's
Explode
where
him like Elon the goat.
Yes, and what a great sentence. But then that's where Godolkin says thank you, and then takes control of Marie, and this is like a big moment because you're like, oh man, he figured out how to do it. So he makes Marie make a blood tornado or something.
Yeah, and it's all very symbolic.
Yeah, and Annabeth realizes that this is from her vision, right? So Marie incapacitates the entire group, and then she monologues about treason. Also, blah blah blah.
This actress does a phenomenal job being a villain.
Doing Cypher, doing her.
Being a villain for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. So she kind of waxes poetic about
it's similar-ish mannerisms, but like it's just different enough that you can. It's eerie.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked that performance too. But she goes on about the superhero supremacy, bullshit. And you're all blood traitors.
You're all traitors and blah blah blah. Now you're all gonna die.
So she's gonna kill all of them, but then Polarity shows up and it has a pretty cool entrance.
Yep.
And
doors open, EMP shockwave goes through, everyone gets better.
Yep. Breaks the connection and knocks Godolkin around a little bit, and then Murray explodes his head, a la Victoria Newman.
Head and like half of his chest.
Yeah, she's like bam, and she's
a little bit less precise than Victoria.
Yeah, she hasn't had as much practice probably. Yeah. So and then she says that was for Andre, and you're like,
aw,
all right, man. Like if you're gonna do the actor justice, but still maintain the charm and the tone, the irreverent tone of the boys and Gen V, the way that they've done this throughout the season, I think was good.
Yeah.
So how else are you going to do it anyway, right? An actor died. How do you even deal with that? I think they did about as well as they could have with it. So Polarity says, Vought is coming. And he's like,
y'all need to get the fuck out of here, but they need a scapegoat, so I'm going to stay here and raise a little hell.
Yes. So, there's no human Dean here anymore, so they're not going to, they're going to blame this shit on you. And so Marie's like, I'm tired of running. And she's like, and Polarity's like, I didn't ask if you're tired of running. You need to run nonetheless.
Yeah.
So Emma asks him to come with them, and there's another really sweet exchange. But he says he has to stay, pretty much. And he's like, and I need you to let me stay, because this is how I'm going to carry on, right? Yeah. Like fighting the fight here. And says, I'll be in touch. So and Greg...
Emma gives him a big hug, which is like he's covered in blood, which is a little bit weird, but...
I think at that point, you're just kind of used to it if you're in this universe.
Like the gesture is there.
Right. Greg can't go, so Emma kisses him, and she tells him to fuck shit up. Mm-hmm. So I guess my little theory about Greg actually being a bad guy probably was off.
I thought Greg was going to die.
Yeah.
Like he gave me very strong red shirt energy.
Yeah, that would have been pretty hard on Emma too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She does make a comment that she and Sam are never ever happening.
No.
So the group tries to find Stan Edgar's place. Mm-hmm. Like they try to retrace their steps, and they're like, it's out here somewhere, right?
Do any of you know where his weird underground bunker is?
So Annabeth makes the choice to stay with him instead of going back to Pam's, and then says to Murray what she's probably been waiting years and years to hear, which is her sister say, "You're a hero." Yeah. And it's has a similar feel to this conversation between Doug and Polarity, where that guilt that Murray has been carrying around about her parents and the effect it had on her sister gets a little lighter and a little easier to bear, right? Yeah. So, lamppost starts buzzing, and it's Starlight. Starlight shows up and is like, hey, you want to join the resistance? And there's a really funny moment where Emma's like, bitch, we have a resistance, but if you're considering a merger,
we will accept.
Yes. And then A-Train shows up.
Yeah, but they're like, how did you even find us anyway? She said, we just searched 200 square miles around the university. It took like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it took like 4 seconds. By the way, if we can find you, Homelander can find you, so we need to get the fuck out of here. So A-Train shows up, and it looks like they're integrating Gen V and the boys. They're gonna be the
Welcome
fucking
to the resistance.
Yeah, and then there was that thing I posted in our Discord, by the way, which if you're watching the stream, you should go join us on Discord, Facebook Live, TikTok, all that shit. Eric Kripke, he's either a writer or something for the boys. Season 5 said, and I quote, "Underground resistance against a fascist government, which definitely has no comparison to anything going on anywhere in the world." So I would assume that this is where they're going with this. It's going to be the boys and the Murray and her crew fighting a fascist Homelander regime. And somewhere in there, Billy Butcher's gonna be calling people cunts, and
yes,
I like how all of this has come together. I think I would like it too if they even did their own, like a separate season 3. If I were writing it, I would put it all together, and it'd be a big, like Daredevil, with all the fucking
Jessica
people
Jones,
and Luke
Cage and all
yeah,
that.
So, yeah, that's the end, man.
It's a good season. I liked it.
It grew on me after a couple of episodes, but I got there,
Yeah.
and I ended up enjoying it, and I'm glad I watched it. So next week will be Saturday, a week from a couple days from now, and we are going to discuss all of Star Wars Visions Season 3, which looks like it's going to be a fucking ride, and then Welcome to Derry, which is a Pennywise the Clown origin story that we're going to be covering weekly from HBO, which is also going to be... I think going to be really, really cool. So join us then. We'd love to see you. In the meantime, thank you for your support. Christopher says, may the force be with you, Daniel and Chris. I hope you're both having a good night. You too, my friends.
Okay.